you understand?
Hey everybody, I'm Tony Jones, and welcome to the Tony Jones Show.
It's not enough people are willing to take the risk. It's just sort of a herd mentality, a lemming-like mentality. If you don't go with the flow, you're anti-American and therefore a suspect.
The Tony Jones Show, featuring punk, rockabilly, psychobilly, and Providence, Rhode Island's finest, starts right now.
He's a dangerous militia member, I hear. Oh, and there she blows.
Back in the day, it was made known that he without sin be the one that cast the first stone. Now you can judge me based on what you see. It may make you feel better, but it don't make you better than me. The only way to achieve true wealth is through mental, physical, and spiritual health. The only true way to love oneself is through mental, physical, and spiritual health. Can't spend our lives on a wheel of fortune while it's spinning. All we see is a lonely dollar sign, hearts grow cold inside. Something better, I believe.
Now listen,
You can work hard, work your fingers to the bone. But what good is the money when there's no one there to spend it on? And you can push me at the top of your game. But what good is the top when the loneliness is driving you insane? The only way to achieve true wealth is through mental, physical, and spiritual health. The only true way to love oneself is through mental, physical, and spiritual health. Can't spend our lives on a wheel of fortune while it's spinning. All we see is a lonely dollar sign, hearts grow cold inside. Something better, I believe. Can't spend our lives on a wheel of fortune while it's spinning. All we see is a lonely dollar sign, hearts grow cold inside. Something better, I believe. Yeah, there's something better, I believe. There's something better, I believe. There's something better.
Friends, the time for mediocrity in broadcasting is over.
My name is Tony Jones, and you are tuned in to the Tony Jones Show, your destination for talk and rock. Online at TonyJones.org. On Facebook, it's facebook.com/Tony Jones Show. And on the almighty Twitter at Tony Jones in RI. Kicking things off with a little VulGarrity, Wheel of Fortune, the name of that one. We will be spinning for you some of the best local music around between now and the top of the hour. Week off last week, but I want to make sure I take some time to thank 30 Silver. They made the trek down here all the way from Boston, Massachusetts to be in studio. Great guys to interview. Can't wait to have them back, and I can't wait to play a gig with those guys. And actually, you're going to hear a double shot of 30 Silver a little bit later in the broadcast. Like I said last week, a little bit of a bye week. I want to thank everybody that I ran into for their kind words and their support. Ran into some Rhode Island Free Radio and Tony Jones listeners over at the Greenwich Cove Meadery, a business we've been supporting around here. Well, DJ Psycho Eddie's been supporting them around here since they very first existed. And then Friday night of that weekend was the big cannabis meetup. And that was a blast. We had folks that actually came all the way down from New Jersey to enjoy the pro-legalization cannabis meetup. We're going to talk about that property, that facility, the Fat Squirrel, in just a little bit. I got some gigs coming up. We're going to talk about that. We got a big one. And I was out supporting local business earlier this week. So we're going to talk about that in just a few moments. But before that, of course, the Tony Jones Show is all about the music. So we're going to go back down to the music now. We're going to hear from the Evil Streaks' Last Kiss, the name of that, this one right here on the Tony Jones Show.
I got you.
some Adieu right here on the Tony Jones Show. Forget City, the name of that one. Facebook.com/Tony Jones Show on Facebook, which incidentally now has 7,286 quote-unquote friends, quote-unquote likes. I want to thank you all for that. Of course, on the almighty Twitter, at Tony Jones in RI. Be sure to check out TonyJones.org. If you'd like to be in studio or you have music for us, go on over to RIFreeRadio.org. Click on the contact page. Now, a few weeks ago, we talked about what was the potential shelter arcade bar. Well, let me back that up. Last Friday, we had the big cannabis meetup, just an absolute blast that was hosted at the Fat Squirrel on Chestnut Street, if you're familiar with Providence, Rhode Island. And that was, I guess, the first site which was for the shelter arcade bar. Now, the bad news is I don't think that's going to be the site. And again, I'm an outsider on this. This is just what I'm picking up. That's the bad news. The good news is they actually hit their crowdfunding goal to start the shelter arcade bar. So it looks like this project will be moving forward, and it's great to see. It's great to see. I was out supporting a few local businesses this week, and it's great to see that people are hitting their crowdfunding goals and that they are moving forward with all these exciting projects. I've been saying for a while now that we're kind of due for a recovery and that there's going to be some exciting things going on. That is from some firsthand knowledge of stuff that I can't talk about, and from secondhand knowledge just of being a supporter of the state and donating to these different crowdfunding efforts and whatnot. So Facebook.com/Shelter Arcade Bar. If you're not familiar with the concept, there's a few around. It's a bar, obviously, and it is old school video games, old school pinball,